Alright YouTube, in this video what we are going to see is how to check the name availability with the help of PHP, MySQL and AJAX. As you can see, when I type on the text box, you will see if the name available, it will show 0 result. If the name is available, it will show name available. If the name is not available, you will see 0 result. If you type the name which is on the database, it will show name available. So we are going to use jQuery, AJAX, PHP and MySQL. The first thing first, what we need is we need a database. So I'm going to database. I have it and I'll show you how to use it. What database I'm going to use. You see the database name comment. Inside the comment we have a table called name check. So it has two columns. The first one is ID and the second one is value. These are two columns and of the table name check of the database comment. So we have created database, table and two columns. Then what we need is HTML as with just a simple text box. For our convenient, we just place the tab so that we can use it and paste it inside our index.html. When I refresh it, you will see the form. Yeah, our form has come. Now we don't need all the form. We don't need all the field. What we need is we just need a simple text box and a label, and everything else need to be removed. Fine. You'll see after the text box we have a single div which will show the result. For that I am going to change the ID name. Let's say show underscore result. Make it ID so that it can be accessible easily with the help of jQuery. Fine. Now you'll see I'm going to change the ID of the input as well, which is, let's make it val. Once this is done, we are going to create a PHP page, fetch.php. Let me create from scratch. What it will do is it will run the select query. It will run the select query, and if our value of the text box matches the value of the column in a database, it will show the result. For that you have to get the PHP code. For that just select if any of the keyword would be fine. Select data from MySQL. Just copy paste the code. You will find the copy paste ready-made code. I'm going for procedural one. Okay, let's use this. Just the PHP code, since our code is .php. Okay, our username is localhost. Our username is root, and password is nothing, and our database name is comment, which I have already shown you. Since this is what, okay, we'll use the object oriented one. That's not an issue. Now simply what you have to do is you have to remove the while loop, and in place of if there is a result, you will just going to show a result as name available. And if there is no result on the database, you are going to say name not available. Fine. Now we are going to run a query. Select star from our table name is name value, I guess. Name check. This is a table name. Since there's two columns, since there is two rows, our database will show name available. If I run it, you will see. To run it, localhost our file. It says access denied. There seems to be a username and password error. Now it will. So there are two rows. That's the reason why it's saying name available. So in this case, we are going to give a condition where our column name, which is name underscore value, will search for Agnel. I think it would name is not available. Since the Agnel name is not available, I'm going to give the name Vishal. So database has the value Vishal, it will say name available. If you type other than that, it will say name not available. Fine. Now we are going to create a AJAX. That AJAX will forward a value to the fetch.data with the help of post method. So we are going to catch that post data to our fetch.php. That means I'm going to create a AJAX at the bottom of the page, and the AJAX will pass the data called post. The method is post, and it will give a data called, let's say, valve. Valve is the name. It is going to pass here. So we are going to catch this. The syntax is $_post. Just type, let me make it val. The concatenation you will be using point. If you run it, you'll see. Okay, we'll discuss once we create the AJAX. Now it's time for the AJAX, simply the jQuery part. It should be written with inside the script tag. Once the document is ready, we are going to execute a function it's simply a alert. If the document loads completely, it will show alert. If it does not show, there is an error in our code. We have to find what it is. Document.ready function alert. Yep, it is showing, so it's right. Now when I type something on the input field, I want to receive that value. So select the input field with the help of id val and get the value with the help of function value and store it inside a variable called input_value and alert it. Sorry, you are not going to alert it. When the focus lost by the input tag, when the focus is lost by the input tag, we want the value to be shown on the alert box. For that, you will be using get the value of id. So you're going to execute a event on the input field. Choose the input field. Here we are specifying it with the help of id dot blur. Just execute the function. For our convenient, we are giving the comment. So alert. Once it loses the blur, once it loses the focus, I want the value of the input to be alerted. When I type something, when I click over below, it loses the focus. That means the blur is executed on the input field. So it says nothing. That means we have a problem. id.val, which should show it. Let's check. There seems to be error. Wait. So simply the error was we have to place this variable inside the function, not if you want, you have to remove the var. Let's try. The reason why it was not working. So if I remove the var, let's check. Not working. That's okay. We have to place the function, so the variable inside the function. So that's the reason when it's working. Now with the help of AJAX, we are going to pass the input underscore value to the fetch.php. So for that we are going to execute the function called $.ajax URL method data type, what type of data I'm going to pass, and if it is success, what it should do. It should execute a function and we'll define it. Okay, the URL is fetch.php. We have already created a file, and the method is post, and the database is text, and the value we are going to send is just the keyword vals. Sorry, we will just give the v and the value which is retrieved, which is passed over the v, and this v we are going to get it on the post. Fine. Now once it is success, we want to choose the div with the show result id, and overwrite it with the data received. Let's refresh. For scenario not working, there seems to be error. It was a simple comma missing. If you type it, and since we have other than we still have an error on line 46, we have to check what it is. There's a problem with the syntax. It should be this way. Dot is also a PHP syntax. So name not available. If you type the name which is on the database, it will show name available. If you type which is not on the database, it will say not available. It should say name available. Fine. The scope of this, you will find the source code on the description box. Thank you for listening.